Wait, I'm unmuted. I did. Right? Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Password. I didn't stream yesterday because I didn't really felt like it, but now I am. I need to remember exactly which save file to load. I think it was this one. I'm pretty sure it's this one because it's the last one in the in the save files. But yeah, today we should be able to get through Path C because Path C is pretty much the same length as Path D. That's a lie. That is a. Wait, what? Wait, no. I. Wait, what? I'm confused. Whatever. Yeah, Path C is about the same length as Path D. But if we're going to Path B, there is no way we're going through Path B today because Path B is very long. Surprisingly enough. By the time Benson and I had reached the foyer. Okay, wait. I kind of forgotten like the context of this. Like, have we met the brigands yet or not? I don't think we've met the brigands yet. I think it's just Oz. Yeah, I think it's just Oswin revealing himself to the others. Who the fuck is this? Benson, would you mind? He's being awfully loud. Dave, where do you run off to? He wandered over and pulled me close by the arm, tight enough that his grip was digging into the point it hurt. I just went. I thought he could help. I can help somewhat. Not these two, though. But for the rest of you, perhaps. Sir, two are unaccounted for, but. I tried to tug myself free of Tyson's grip, not sure I wanted to look. Part of me was curious as to what Oz was doing, but I also didn't want to see the corpses of my friends. They'll show up eventually. This is a tragedy and must be dealt with properly. The other two. Sir, perhaps we should assist Master Noble who is unconscious on the floor. Fine. I'll tend. I'll tend to. Wait, what? I'll tend to do him. It shouldn't be like I'll tend to him. That is a weird like way to phrase it. Can you arrange something for the other two? Ty, let me go. I yanked my arm free and scowled at him, wandering over where Oswin was kneeling on the ground. He's breathing, and may have a bump on his head, but otherwise he's physically fine. Mentally, we'll see. I might have to mix up something for him to take. We have a problem. Haas ran in through the front door, locking with Oswin before flicking over to Tyson and I. Who are you? Oswin Hammond. I live here. This is my house. Wait, what? Sorry. Sure. Okay. Anyway, there's a problem. No signal. What do you mean, no signal? I tried calling the police. Nothing. Even tried going outside to see if it was just a dead spot. Nothing. There's likely a landline we could try when Benson returns. Orlando groaned, sitting up and rubbing his head. Orlando. My head. Do you know where you are? What about your name? Me? I'm. My name's Orlando. I'm at my I'm at a mansion with my friends. Good. As careless as Oswin was in the library, his voice was soft and calming as he supported Orlando while he came to. Well, you're at least not as disoriented as you could be. What happened? Wait, who are you? This is going to be a running problem, isn't it? Dave, take care of your friend. I'm going to go find Benson. Orlando, let's get you outside. All right. Haas led Orlando out towards the back door and they disappeared into the backyard. When I turned away, my eyes were drawn to Roswell and Dean still on the floor. There was something, there was something about seeing a corpse. Something deeply unsettling that you can't quite place. Maybe it was the smell of blood, or how they were living and breathing only a short time ago. Everything felt surreal, like I was underwater, but I was able to walk towards my friends. I flinched, stopping in my track as my foot stepped in the blood pooling on the ground. The smell was stronger here, and as I looked down to the red puddle at my feet, it started to hit me harder. They were dead. Hey, come on, let's get you outside. All I could do was stare. If I didn't know better, they were just sleeping. Ty pulled me in close, most importantly, turning me away from Roswell and Dean. Before I knew it, he was guiding me towards the back door in the direction that Haas and Orlando went. And then we can skip. Okay. We can still skip some stuff because, like, the only, like, difference in this route is that Oswin is still alive. But it's gonna change something. Wait, you said Sal went inside, right? What about Benson and that other guy? Oh no. Fuck him. We got enough to worry about. Ty! No sooner has I cried out, the back door opened. Were you perhaps worried about us, Master Haas? Oh wait, it was... Look, their colors are so similar that I thought that it was Oswin speaking, but no, it was Benson. Whoops. Bah, we'd have been fine. He's back in his room now. Really? He just went back to bed? It seems so. Perhaps his rampage is over for now. Or at least that's the most we can hope for. The landline is dead too. Have you managed to get in contact with the authorities? We seemed to all shake our heads, even though the question was posed to Haas. Unfortunate. Hey, you. What do you want? What the fuck was that? Who the fuck are you? Were you not listening? I'll say it again, and I'm not going to repeat myself beyond this. My name is Oswin Hammond, and this is my house. And Sal? What'd you do to him? I don't like what you're I don't like what you're insinuating, boy. I did nothing. And I'd like to think you being witness to what he did to your friends would be enough to convince you of that. But for the time being, the best we can do is seek out the police. But why? There's no other options to pick from? To remove you from my house, hopefully someplace safer. Unless you wish to stay. Although I don't see any reason why you would after this. Beyond that, no. There are no immediate options. And skip. Oh, that was not a big skip. Oswin looked as if he was lost in thought, compared to Benson, who seemed to be expressionless, and the rest of us, worried or on edge, was curious as to why. Oswin? What? What are you thinking? Thinking about? Nothing really, just curious. We kept walking, and a couple minutes after Benson spoke up, Sir, are you sure it's wise to be wandering the woods at night instead of remaining in the manor? Even with Sal back there? It's fine. He's safe. I believe the worst of it is over anyway. Sal's safe? From what? He seemed to ignore me, instead talking directly to Benson. I secured the lab, so nothing's getting in or out of there. For that reason, I don't think I'm needed. Very well. It seems as though I was getting ignored, so I instead looked to the others. And then, oh, I looked from Haas to Oswin and Benson, who seemed to be trudging along minding their own businesses. Yeah, okay. There are many reasons why there are many reasons why one might kill Master Noble. As you say, it could be as you say, it could be as a means to protect, but without questioning him further, there isn't really much to go off. He could have made less of a mess of my foyer if he was being courteous. Granted, he looked out. Granted, he looked out of it even on the security monitor. Orlando stomped over to Oswin and grabbed him by the collar of his coat, snarling, "Oh God. How dare you speak about Sal like that? You care more about your foyer over the two people that died there?" Oswin seemed bored, quirking an eyebrow at Orlando while he clung to his front. "Master Noble, show some restraint. No, for all I know, he's happy they're dead. For all I know, he's the one that's behind it all." In a flash, Benson moved forward, throwing his fist right into Orlando's gut. He was nimble and precise, knocking the wind out from Orlando, so he let go of the coat as he was clinging to. Orlando fell to his knees, gasping for air. Oh no. "I'll say it plainly. It was a tragedy, but I will not allow you to throw accusations toward Master Oswin freely, especially from one such as yourself." Huss pulled Orlando off to the side, glaring daggers at Benson. Not that he seemed to pay much attention to him now that Orlando was removed. "Are we done?" "I believe so, sir." Okay. Oh, wait, what happened before? Oh, okay, they're just going out to the main road. Okay, trying to get the signal. Okay. Benson. "Sir, do not start. I know just as much as you do." "Then find out, damn it." Benson sped off down the driveway after Haas, moving quicker than I expected him to. Oswin was still standing where he was originally, arms folded and tapping his foot. He seemed anxious despite his frown, and who would blame him after what we heard? Okay, it's gone. Wait, what? Oh yeah, because of the explosion. Yeah, right. What do you mean gone? Because of the explosion. Yeah, we know that. Spending the night outdoors is unwise. For that reason, I suggest we all take refuge inside the manor, both for warmth, comfort, plus the dangers of unclaimed wilderness playing host to any number of things. And you are concerned about your friends? I shall tend to them, respectfully, of course. At least until we can get in contact with proper people so they can be buried properly. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, I dropped my head thinking it over. Yeah. I think some dialogue can be skipped because we know what's happening already, and it's just like it's this scene. It's like the same scenes, but Oswin and Benson. Well, Oswin is still there, so my mind went to Oswin and Benson, wondering if they were aware of what was going on. Chances that they hadn't made themselves known, given how Sal was reacting. Okay. Thinking of that too. Chances we can just leave them there without getting it. Without it getting you know. Well, what do you expect us to do about it? Bury them in the backyard? Oh, okay, yeah. It's again the fridge talk. Is it? Or well, not the fridge, but the yeah. Yeah, they are just talking about that. Where to store the bodies. Ben Oswin. Don't care about to him. They've gone and fucked up somewhere and left us to fend for ourselves. Guess that's fair. Try to contact them, tell them we're going. What part of fuck 'em did you not get? But shouldn't we? No. Sure, it'll be fine, right? They'll be around later, hopefully. Right. Okay. Then it's like basically the same thing. I think Orlando was the choice that I choose. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. Food or whatever. That said, no idea where he could have been in the house. We were pretty thorough when we were looking for that gun. Wait, as we arrived at Vention, though. Gentlemen, good morning. Yeah, fucking great morning. Come now. I would hope to think you'd see that more as pleasantries rather than running commentary on the situation at hand. Tyson huffed, grumbling but saying nothing more on it. We have some bad news. The road is out and still no signal even there. It's so strange. There shouldn't be no reason why that's happening, right? Not as far as I can tell, but the landslide does create some complications. Supplies for the most part, but we should be able to make do given the stockpiles I've amassed. More than enough for a couple of days, but plenty for longer. Plenty for longer if need be. Heavens forbid that becomes the case, however. Okay, yeah. The master is up and about as well you should wish to discuss anything with him, I'm sure. Wait, Butler, you seen Sal around anywhere? He wasn't down at the main road. Well, yes, I've seen Master Sal. He's sequestered himself at the pool and hasn't made a move to the mansion since he arrived. Really? He hasn't gone looking for anything or gone to find you or Oswin? I'm af- I'm afraid not. He may be unaware that we're up and about, but he arrived there shortly after you all departed for the main road. And he said nothing? He's done nothing? Okay, yeah, excuse me, yeah, the task. Oh, Benson. Is everything alright? I think you and I should talk later. I have a bone to pick with you. Oh shit. Ah, very well. I shall look forward to it. That was suspicious. Is to go inside. Oh, yeah, okay, we've already seen that. Coming from the room. Where first thing had been bored to coming in this room, and part of me wondered how I missed it. Not that I had anything special going on, just a small room to just relax and just sit and relax in. That said, as we entered, immediately As we entered, I noticed immediately the sound was. The sound was a soft singing from the older boar in the room. Huh. Oswin was sitting beside Roswell, looking up at us as we entered the room. As soon as he noticed us, he stopped, falling silent. For a moment, we just stared at each other. Then he stood slowly, dusting off his lab coat. Hello. Hi. Again, more silence as I quickly look to Orlando and then back to Oswin. What were you doing? Nothing. Nothing at all. But I heard. He sighed out, shaking his head and looking back down to Roswell. I suppose I've been caught, haven't I? If you must know, I was visiting the deceased, much in the same way I assume you two are here for. But there are friends. Wait, but there are friends. Why are you here? Just resolving something in myself, shall we say? This is probably a bit presumptuous, but were you two related? You're both boars, after all. No, at least not in any meaningful way. But only Roswell? I don't feel the need to answer you. I don't feel the need to answer to you regarding this, but I will. Truth be told, why you're here is for the most part because of Roswell, or more accurately, his family. Okay, but then why? Because as someone who does not have any children of his own, seeing one so young die, I'm not so callous to be upset of their passing too. It just so happens that Roswell in particular, I was at least aware of prior to this. Did he know you too? Potentially. My dealings were primarily with his parents, all things considered. Oh, well. Orlando shook his head, sighing out. Sorry, I should give you your time with your friends. If you'll need me, I'll be upstairs in the conservatory. Okay. And then that should be the same thing as before? Yep, the same thing as before. Oh. Yeah. The same thing. Oh, yeah, okay, now it's like the choice with Sal. Yeah, okay. Yeah, now it's the talk with Sal. This wasn't part of the deal. So this line, I noted it in my notebook or in my text file or in my notes, like that. This like Haas saying that this wasn't part of the deal, being so goddamn suspicious. Like what deal? I noticed Benson's eye flicking to me before going back to Haas, his tone level. Your understanding of the deal was clearly mistaken then. Regardless, we have company. I believe you've had your questions answered for now, no? Haas looked to me quickly, then back to Benson. Fine. That was totally not suspicious, huh? Haas stumped around me and went inside, closing the door loudly behind him. What was that about? The disagreement. About? With a sigh, Benson looked into the yard. Truthfully, it doesn't matter. But if you're that curious, he wished for information. I gave him exactly what he wanted. He was just unhappy with the resolution. He looked beyond him towards the pool. Is Sal still at the pool? Indeed. Okay, yeah. Now it's just the same thing with the talk with Sal. Yeah. Good morning, and yeah. Nah, you're fine, Sal. I'm not gonna kill you. Because anyways, I think for Pat C, I need him to stay alive. So I cannot kill I cannot kill Sal. Gathering together, are we? Wanted to have a meeting. I'll go inform Master Oswin. I assume he'll kick up a fuss if he's not included. And given this affects us all, it would be best if we were all in attendance, no? Okay. Pushy, isn't he? Like Tyson doesn't mind. Be fine, right? Only one way to find out. When we reach Path B, though, I might not skip as much because Path B, I think, is very different than Path C. I kind of forgot how Path B ends, but I just remember that Path B is long. Wait, Benson is grabbing Oswin, yeah. Why the fuck is he doing that? Having a meeting, so we gotta invite himself. Well, I'm not waiting, fuck him. Wow. Okay. Having a meeting on what to do, are we? Well, far be it from me to be excluded from such a thing. Now, what have you lot discussed without us? All came up and sleeping arrangements, really. Nothing else yet. Then might I suggest we discuss about what to do with this deceased. All things considered, they should. Yeah, okay, that. Yeah, the freezer. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know. Haas, Benson? Yeah, those two. What are you two up to? What is it? Whoops, what is it? There's something that's been bothering me since yesterday. I didn't really know what to think of it, and part of me kind of forgot with everything that has been happening. Oh? What's wrong? Did something else happen? Not that I know of. But I wanted to ask you about that thing you had yesterday. That thing that Benson got you to do. Excuse me? Right. That thing. I looked to Orlando and Ty, both looking curious as to what I was talking about, but stayed quiet. As for Oswin, he was seemingly making himself a cup of tea. So, what did Benson ask you to do? What was the thing? Yes, Haas, I'd be very interested to know what it was that I asked you to do for me. That is escalating even to be even worse. Haas bared his teeth at me, grumbling. It was nothing. Don't worry about it. I think we're long past the charade, my boy. It is true, I asked him to perform a test for me, to repair an old device of mine. Although I don't think he knew exactly what he was getting into when I asked him. Okay, but what was it? What does it do? I posed the question to Benson before turning to Haas when it was clear he wasn't going to be the one to answer me. Haas, however, realized he was put on the spot and continued to grumble, jaw clenched. It's an ECM jammer. A what? It stands for electronic countermeasure. In a sense, it's a jamming device. So then the lack of cell phone reception? Benson shook his head. I can see why you'd think that, but no, this isn't my doing, nor is it this device's doing. And why not? You had one. Why not others? Why ask me to try and repair it? I can feel that one. Keeping such things is very illegal, but it just so happens that with enough financial lubrication, anything can be overlooked. But there are reasons beyond that. Such as what? To stop prying eyes for once. But stopping telecommunications is one of their known uses. Indeed. But more than that, it acts as a deterrent for anyone to wish to stay. Use a remote detonator to cause a landslide. To say, oh, stay, say, bleh. But that happened anyway. Okay. Proud of myself. Leave me alone, I'm fine. Yes, I'm sure you're completely fine with how you're lashing out at me, Dave. Oh, it's you. We should have a chat. Your friends are concerned about you, and you don't know how to help. Well, I don't want to talk. Then far be it from me to force you to do anything. But you're causing undue panic. Sure, and Tyson's ignoring me. 2 of my friends are dead. Another is isolating himself at the pool for being the one behind it. I'm so sorry if I'm not being the most mindful right now. I was growling at him, choosing to focus my attention his way for lack of any other option. So just fuck off, I don't care. He just watched me, corking a brow before stepping forward calmly. His hands were held in his pockets right up until he lashed out and grabbed me roughly by the ear. Why the ear, specifically? Now listen here, boy. You listen well. I whined. His grip rough and tight. He pulled me closer, voice brought down to a whisper, the rage in his voice clear. Are you wanting to make things difficult? You want to stress those you want to stress those you care about that much that they make poor decisions? No? Then pull yourself together, Dave. Pull yourself together damn quick. He let go of my ear and pulled me in close, hugging me tight. That is strange. Something broke in me, and I whined loud and unrestrained. Times are rough, boy, but don't fight this fight alone. Take it from someone that made the same mistake. Let me go and took a step back, watching me carefully. I was trembling under his gaze, and eventually he turned and left back in the direction of the kitchen. What had just happened? Why had Oswin done that? I braced myself on the railing of the stairs. Orlando would know what to say, or even if he didn't, a good cuddle would be his go-to. But the thought of that, right after being hugged by Oswin, didn't sit right with me. Despite that, I wanted him to next to me, telling me everything that would be alright. Choking on my thoughts, yeah, okay. Did you know about Orlando's family? Yep. Dave is that oblivious. Look, I'm gonna say something and it's either gonna hurt or just straight up suck. Okay? They are not bankers, Dave. You're stupid. Wait, what? Okay. I wasn't expecting that. I blinked at him, my heartbeat hastening in my chest before becoming a dull throb. Being told under these circumstances paled in what I hoped would have been a more romantic way. Hell, I assumed Ty would be the last person telling me this, but he did. Oh. Don't go rushing to say it back or anything. My voice trailed off, unsure of what I should say, or if I was allowed to say anything back to that. Point is, now more than ever I've got your back. But I don't trust the others. Not after what happened. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The same plan that will fail. You right now, when I'm gonna be... Yeah, okay. I don't know why this line is different. Yeah, one day. One day I'll take you down chicken and make something. Alright. It's the same thing. Step in though. Oh, Oswin. Okay, what he wants. You slept the day away. Are you feeling better? Little? Everyone's on edge. More so after your departure. Orlando and Tyson have simultaneously been at each other's throat and trying to conspire to make you feel better. Yeah, Tyson just came and woke me up, but I wanted to talk to you about that. Go on. He wants to leave. Just the two of us, but... Sighed out, shaking his head. Well, you're both welcome to try. But from what I've heard of the road from Benson, the way is out. That way is out. Your only option would be to go through the forest, and perhaps find a way down the mountain that way. I think that's what he was planning, or at least where he'd likely try and go. Then a word of caution. These woods are dangerous, but finding a way off the mountain is indeed possible. Dangerous how? You know how to navigate the wilderness? To fend off wild animals? When are you leaving? During the night is going to be additionally problematic given the dark. I have a flashlight, but does Tyson? Where does that leave your friends? I'm since not giving me a choice. Does he need to be sedated? I can retrieve something from the lab to knock him out if he's proven to be an issue. Now that I think about it, it might do him some good. No, that's fine. I just figured I'd come see how you were doing instead, really. Okay. Nothing left to show, not after what happened. Did someone get in, or? More like, the reason I wanted to show you is now meaningless given what happened before. It's there, but it's best if we leave it undisturbed for now. Okay. Ultimately, it was self-serving to my own curiosity. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Besides, the lab itself has been sealed for now. You need me to unlock the door for you, and I'm in no rush to enter that space again. Okay. Were you looking for me to convince you to stay? I said before I'm looking forward to all of you leaving this place one way or another, so long as that's alive, mind you. Okay. Yeah. And then after that, the whole thing with Tyson is gonna happen again. Stop by Sal. Oswin. Brought a pillow. Yeah. It's literally the same, like, scenes, but with Oswin alive. He's gonna catch a cold, yeah. I could deal with it. But yes, giving him resources to prevent it from happening would be ideal. Yeah. I believe this is the noble route you're taking. Far be it from me to tell you to do otherwise, or judge you for deciding either way. You're an adult, so you're well within your rights to make your own decisions. But I still do worry. You're young, effectively still a child, so... Wow, you're calling him a child. Wow. I mean, he's oblivious, but not really a child? You don't trust me still? I don't. I don't know who I trust right now. Then I'm glad, because that means you're still being rational. Still, I'd recommend seeing your friend and getting back inside before it gets too late. I'd rather only one of you getting sick if it came to it. Okay, then it's Sal giving the comfort at least. Me again. It's pretty much the same thing. Tyson though. Yeah, I figured. Wait, I think he literally says the same thing, but I cannot skip it for some reason. Yeah, I think it's literally the same thing, but I cannot. Well, right now we're just checking back on Sal, and after that, I think it's the scene where Tyson drags Dave out into the woods, and things bad happen, and yada yada. And then ending time, I'm pretty sure, because I think when Memphis comes into play, we're going to the ending. I mean, you know what happens when Memphis shows up, so like, yeah, it's not gonna be pretty. Morning. Standing there, something, here's a health, couldn't sleep, something like that. Hardly surprising. Did you want to join me outside? Sure, I wanted to check on Sal at some point anyway. Really, now? Right, I don't know what to think, but still couldn't have. Yeah, okay. Hard to say, but I have some question for him myself. Something that's been bothering. Okay. Tell you in due time. Just need more data. Okay. It's a shame, isn't it? We'll keep moving after be like this after a tragedy. Yeah. Again, he's hinting us at the password that we need to use. When Sal went on his little massacre, the world gave none of us a moment to think. It allowed none of us to process what was happening, and even now, what has happened? Bleh. The thought of what happened running through my head. Now we have a mountain to cherish it, Dave. We must, for if we don't, we're going to be consumed by our base instincts. I would prepare for things to get worse before they get better. Yeah. It seems as though I was mistaken. See for yourself. Wait, what? He should. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say he shouldn't be dead. Okay. Are you well? Cold, but I suppose so. It's a good thing Tave gave you the blankets last night. The storm. Yeah. Aren't you gonna heal him? He's he's a scientist, not like a, a healer. I don't think that makes. Well, I mean, he can try. More data? This is the data I was after. What data you speak of? Me? I'm the data. Do you consent in taking a blood sample to run some tests? This is to get medicine, yes. I'm no stranger to what you need to do, so yes, I consent. Really? Then that makes things easier. But I have questions. Questions that I think only you can answer very well. Oh, great! We don't get to know what happens. It's alright, Dave. I'll be fine. Okay. Skip. Good morning, everyone. The knife. Wait, what? That nasty piece of work was. Oh, that is different. Was camping out by Dave's door yesterday. Was he? I never noticed. Self shifty on the spot, occasionally rubbing his arm. Also, why is Sal in here? Why is he with you? Having spent the night outside, it appears our friend may be on the brink of coming down with a cold, or he would have if I hadn't treated him already. That quickly? Stunned and impressed. I'm good at what I do. Granted, there were some complications, but the results were fascinating to say the least. Fascinating how? It appears Sal here has a very unique immune system. Would have been very useful in my studies much earlier in life if I had the chance to study it further. We're not done with our talk, by the way. Come now, Sal. Trust me, I have not forgotten. However, this leads me to an explanation of why what happened did in the first place. That's a weird way to phrase it again. But oh, pills, yeah, that's the explanation. What's that? That's Dean's sleeping medication. Yes, and while the dosage is fairly strong, it is what it says on the label. But therein lies the problem. What's the problem exactly? Dean's a bear, so I'm guessing that it's not for bears? Sodium. Oh my god, okay. Sodium amobarbitol is one treatment for insomnia, although it has the ghastly side effect of being a fairly strong sedative and an equally potent hypnotic. What? Can you speak in English, please? Sorry. In normal cases, it'd be no different than being a little delirious after an intensive visit to the dentist. In Saul's case, however, take what effects this has and distort it. So that means. Wendell turned to Sal quickly and hugged him, and fairly tightly from what I could see. It means that while under the effects of this medicine, yes, Sal was not the person that killed Dean and Roswell. So yeah, the medication is why he did that. So if he hadn't taken the medicine, the casualties wouldn't have happened. What moment of happiness Orlando had was stolen from him, and he almost went limp next to Sal. It means that someone told Sal to kill them both while he was under the influence. That may only be half true, sir. True, bleh. Sal and Roller backed off as Benson strode into the dining room from the foyer, hands clasped neatly behind his back. Excuse me? If you're comparing this to the suggestiveness of a textbook sleepwalker, then Dean or Roswell may have just been collateral damage. What reason would there be to kill either of them? That's what has me puzzled. Can we go back a little bit? What's the mat? Don't say this, please. Don't say this, please. What's the matter, Dave? Sal didn't kill Dean and Roswell, or at least he wasn't himself when he did it. We know this because of the medicine, right?
What's the matter?
Yes. Yes, and then who told Sal to kill? The room went still, and looks were exchanged about the place. While I understand you want to identify the culprit, increasing tensions right now will do no one any good. Wait, what? Did he spoke? I didn't saw. He moved his lips, right or no? He should be because I didn't change anything. He should be. I or I don't know. Whatever. Pointing the blame at someone now is going to be counterproductive in getting those of us that wish to leave off the mountain. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I see. Well, that's just the TTS. Not going to stop me. Pardon. I'm taking Dave and we're leaving through the forest. Fuck waiting around. And what are Dave's thoughts on this? He wants to leave. Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah. Tell them, yeah. It's literally the same thing. Yeah. We're forced through the forest and it's not going to be any good. Well, yeah, no, you're not going to manage. If you hadn't done that, he wouldn't have died. For journey home, supplies, a weapon, battery. That's literally the only thing he can think of. How resourceful. Okay. And then skip. And we know that it's not going to go well. Who knows, probably. Yep, Jack. And now Tyson is gone. Hey, alright, it's alright, breathe. We need to tell Benson and Oswin that you're back and ready. Yeah. Around somewhere. Oswin has been spent a lot of time moping around after Benson moved the bodies into the freezer. Wait, okay, it's Oswin that wakes you up. Okay. That is that is kind of frightening. I'm awake. What happened? You're back when I assumed you were dead. Did you run into Benson out there? Benson? No. I just... What time is it? Late. But I had to check. Wait, hold on. I'm just... Benson was out in the woods? He didn't seem keen on the two of you heading off without any sort of protection. Although he's yet to return. Oh, wait. Wait. Is Benson dead? In this route? The X is not there, so he's not dead yet. Very well, if you didn't run into Benson, then I suppose something must have come up. Are you worried? Quite. But Benson's proven reliable before. He'll show up again, and from what I heard from Haas, hopefully Tyson might make a return as well. I hope so. Forgive me for disturbing you, but, well, you understand my worries. I'll let you get your sleep. Laid back and stared at the ceiling. Please be okay, Ty. Catching up once more, I felt bad for Oswin. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be the main difference in Path C. Mr. Oswin felt it was appropriate to detain you. Yeah, okay, it's again the same thing here. Being locked in the room. Oh. Looked tired, didn't say anything shy of his mustache twiggling slightly as he left in the same position I was in. Welcome back? Thank you. Want to ask, but I was afraid of the answer. Alas, I have no news to give you, good nor bad. What's that supposed to mean? Means that the two of you aren't all that difficult to track, and while I found where you two had your altercation, I couldn't find Hyde, nor, well, no Tyson. That means he's safe? It means he's still unaccounted for, rather than dead. That means, yeah, the same thing. The plan. I've returned. I can see that. And any longer, I might have been worried. Sir, now is hardly the time. And surprisingly out of character for you. Bah, fine. Either way, I'm glad you've returned. Yes, Dave? You locked me up. I see Sal let you out. What's this? The room. Feeling how ready he was to leave, and how he showed up without Tyson, I did what I thought was appropriate to ensure his safety. Yeah. Then it's like the plan to get Tyson back. Perhaps you'll get one if I feel sore. Wow. Wow. Only to be displaced by Benson quickly intervening. Will you both behave? It's bad enough that we have what's already transpired without you two at each other's necks. Well then, I suppose there's nothing left to it, is there? I'll gather the others and we'll convene in the dining room. Okay. Yeah, the rescue mission that is not gonna really work. Likely really potential allies. Back wall. Yeah, it's literally the same scene but with Oswin. So we can pretty much just skip that because we know that. I don't think it's gonna be interesting dialogue, so something that let Dave explain having experience firsthand. Yeah. Seta, rabbit. Excuse me. Can confirm there was a spot by the river, something sort that place. Surrounding my property? Now it's not the time, Oswin. Let's say in normal cancer circumstances. Usually, but that one is bad. That not all are. More important thing is that it's not normal to have a trespasser on this mountain, let alone a rabbit. Wow, you have something against rabbits? Yeah. I'm sorry, but does it matter specifically what this guy is? I believe it's worth considering giving a certain individual doesn't take kindly to being told no. Who? Your dad! Yeah. But that's Orlando's family. Dad. Indeed. Like the fact that we got to say no to a mob boss, but here we are. So what exactly? What could be worth having some guy out in the woods with a knife? It's the vote, isn't it? What makes you say that? Did he say anything to you? No, but I know my dad. I know what he's like. We saw what that thing could do through Dave, right? If you had any idea what that vote could do, what Dave said it could do, mobster with a machine that could tell you how those around you could die seems, I don't know, dangerous? Yeah, something like that anyway. As it turns out, Memphis believed that it was quite simply a time machine. Uh-huh. Not that he particularly wanted to hear an explanation as to why he was wrong, mind you. Okay. You never gave him a price. Correct. I told him it wasn't for sale, and he couldn't work with me then, or so just shooting me was off the table. Not that Benson would have allowed anything to happen to me anyway. So the rabbit. And take the vote. Yeah. We all know this. Wait, could it be the one that caused the explosion? All things considered, it wouldn't be surprised me if he did. Him or an associate. I doubt that Memphis would be dumb enough to send only one in to try and take what he feels entitled to. Yeah, we know all that. What do you think? We're all in this together. I mean, yeah, but like, I killed Dean and Roswell. Do you regret it? I mean, of course he does. I mean, yeah, of course he regrets it. He's not going to say no. I don't regret it. Figure out why had all this happened. Need to do. Phyllis Benson, only a discussion made what to do. All because of that thing downstairs. There are two things I want to do, two things that seems to make the most sense to me. Those two things would be save Tyson. It's a big ask. I think it's difficult. Correct, regardless, that does not extend to the rest of you. Second, I mean, Oswin is not gonna say yes to that. That man will not get his greedy hands on that device. Wow. And what that says to me is that you'd rather see more of us die than give him something he cannot use. Oswin went to retort, but a firm hand snapped out to find its place on Oswin's front, acting as a lone barrier between me and him. Let's leave it at that, shall we? There's no need to escalate things further. Technically, what Dave said there is wrong, but it's gonna be explained later. I think that is gonna be explained either in Path A or Path B, but I think it's gonna be explained in Path A because most likely it will be Path A. I agree with Dave in securing Tyson, just saying the fact that, yeah. Benson, the rescue mission, it's playing up. Please be safe, Benson. Probably fine. Okay, so it's literally the same team. So I think I need to still save Benson instead of Sal, because I think the other way around, it's not gonna be Path C. I think I'm not sure about this part, but yeah, I would like to come too. Yeah, it's literally the same thing that he says before. I was so adamant about not handing it over, even now. Befalling us, it could be broken. Friends, wait, what is happening? Oswin? In light, Dave. Breathing in deep, I gripped my flashlight tight and looked Oswin in the eye. Why did you make it? He stared back, slipping the book back on the shelf and placing his hands neatly in his pockets. Why did you make the vault? Why can I use it? Why was someone marked for death? Why Oswin? Why? He still said nothing, watching me carefully. He gestured me for me to sit and took his spot across the table from me much like he did the first time. As I sat down, he lit the candles and I turned off my flashlights, only for us to continue looking at one another. Why do you want to know? We're in danger because of it. Everything that's happened so far is because of it. I don't really know why it is even here. Again, I felt like we were just going to stare at one another until he replied, voice level if quiet. That is fair enough. I will tell you, but I'll inform you up front that the answer you're looking for may not be all that helpful. I want to know anyway. Then simply, the vote was made by the three of us. Reginald, myself, and, well, your sister. That's right. Well, it was my spearheaded, while it was spearheaded by my older brother and sister, I no doubt was brought on for some of the intricate understanding of things. Or perhaps it was just my willingness to help them in any way I could lead to me. Being a part of its part in its creation. That's the who, not the why. My siblings wished to do good, Dave. Of that I have no doubt. But when Reginald died, there was less enthusiasm towards the project. Maybe it was just something we could bond over. It's hard to say. Work on it has stopped short of it being completed. But we know it works when it wants to. Otherwise, it wouldn't have shown me things. I scratched my head, growing frustrated. I wasn't expecting another story, but here I was getting information I didn't ask for. It does. I finished it myself. Something to remember my older brother by, and my older sister when she moved into a greener pastures. But not for a few years after the trial. When those kids died. Yes. His gaze dipped away briefly before returning back to mine, stony and cold. Something happened I don't know, 5 years or so later. The despair of losing almost 100 children to my mistakes shook me to my core. But after the years passed following, I assumed the vote could help prevent more than one tragedy. And the event was? I can't give you the details. Not yet. But in broad strokes, I can tell you that my interest in getting the vote to work was to save two very specific people. People who, for the time being, need to remain anonymous. Why? Of all times, you keep them a secret. Of all times, why keep them a secret? Why now? I made promises that I would keep them with my life. Promises that involved their identities remain a secret until the month is up. My eyes widened, resting back in my chair. So you know who's marked for death after all. I do. If you've been attentive enough, you should have an idea as well. Come on, Dave. All things considered, you should rightly know without me needing to say. For some reason, I kind of feel like he's referring to Dave himself. I That's the only like idea I have, but I don't know why. The sound I made was somewhere in the realm of a rattled rat having an idea, but I was scared of the implication. And the other person? If one of the people is the one you say is marked for death, why is there a second? Because I made a mistake. Simple as that. A mistake that I intend on fixing, if not in this lifetime, maybe another. I thought you said that you didn't really believe in all that stuff. Oh, if you want to hear more timeline shenanigans talk, just wait until Path A. I think it's Path A. Uh, Oswin rose from his chair, sighing out. I didn't. It's, well, I can't argue with evidence that I can't explain how you divine the fates of your friends or Benson without it. I rose too, planting my hands on the table for support. Well, it didn't help me stop Saul a few days ago. It didn't stop that rabbit from attacking me and Tyson. Don't misunderstand. The vote wasn't a mistake, but a mistake was made all the same. And before you ask, no, I'm not going to tell you what that mistake was, as it doesn't have any bearing on keeping those alive, still alive. So that's it then. Indeed. I trust you've prepared yourself for your outing with Benson. You have a friend to save. Yeah, okay. Then perhaps you allow me to offer something that may come in handy. Oh, okay, he's gonna give Dave the knife, right? Pick it up. Yeah, it's a knife, yeah. Just in case. And I have a choice. Okay. And now it's the rescuing mission. The back door. Wait, what? Oh yeah, right. The offer. Yeah. Oh, then you find like, yeah, it's the same thing. No deal. What? What did you just say? I got some big ears, so maybe I just misheard you. No deal. But Benson, he has Tyson. I'm well aware of that, Dave. Fine. Maybe I grabbed the wrong one after all. But I'm getting what my boss is after one way or another. I do not believe you are in position to make such claims. Ah, yes, of course. It's not as if I have leverage. Do I? Snickered to himself while I ground my teeth in worry. Turning to Benson, worried, I tugged his arm, pleading. Just give him the vote, please. Come on, Benny boy, just give me the vote. Benson? Given Tyson's absence, I imagine you have him holed up somewhere with whomever was on the other end of that radio. Your point? At the very least, I'm not making an exchange in the dark of night. If I decide to be so generous, then you shall see us in the morning. Okay, yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. Yeah, it's the same thing. The meeting, yeah. And I was when leaving to be. Consider it a downside to working for a man that wants his cake and eats it too. Wow. Oswin is a child. Yes, well, that's something we're to do today, isn't it? Alright, the same thing. You thought of to what I proposed? You'd want it this way, I believe. If it's not as much to use to us at the moment, anyway. Yeah, the rat. Yeah. Yeah. We know all that already. At the very least, like on Path B, I will be able to stop the murder, but it's still not the best path. You're willing to arm yourself? Okay. If you want to come, I need to. I kind of feel about to skip all that, but we know that all of this already. But like when you reach path B and A, we won't really have anything much to skip. Maybe in path A a little bit because of saving Dean and Roswell. Looking bleak. Keep you safe. And then the meetup. Okay, let's go and try to save Tyson, but fail ultimately. Because it's literally the same thing. Alright, so if I'm right, it should be... I should still need to save Benson instead of Sal, because I think choosing Sal just leads you straight to path D, if I remember correctly. I don't know. But something tells me that Sal is very important. No, Benson is very important. No. Benson is important. I don't hate Sal. Wait. They both died. Wait, what? So I think ultimately the choice didn't matter. I don't remember that, but... So now, here's the part I'm not gonna skip because that's gonna be different now. At the mention came into view, I saw Oswin standing at the back door looking out into the forest. Oh, never mind. No, Benson is alive. You're back. Indeed, although not without trouble. I'm sorry. Truth be told, I'm only alive because of Dave. Were he a moment slower, well, we didn't get Tyson either, but Sal, he appreciated my boy. You made sure Benson got home, so I'm thankful for that. I whined, clutching my fur tight and tugging. Sir, we're in danger. While one's being dispatched, the rabbit's still a problem. I'll take what I can get. I've already run the plans past Thanatos, blah, and he's on board, somewhat. Thanatos? I'll explain later. Get inside. We have things we need to do. Three of us headed inside. I kept my head down, at a loss as to what was to happen now. Sal was dead, Tyson wasn't rescued, but knowing who we were against now didn't seem to make me feel better. Even with one of them now dead. You're back, but... Sal's missing. Indeed, he's... Wait, don't tell me he's... I'm sorry, there was nothing we could do. Orlando dropped to his knees, starting to sob quietly at the base of the stairs. What happened out there anyway? There are more of them than just the rabbit that showed up. One we've already dealt with, but alas, it came at the cost of losing Sal in the process. You sacrificed him? On the contrary, if Dave had done nothing, there'd be every chance all three of us would have not made it back. Damn. Still, they've shown their hand, and I wonder how long will it be before they realize we've duped them. What do you mean? Jack seemed pretty sure what we gave him was right. I'll admit, I was expecting them to balk at the rat, but without flinching, he knew where to look. Not only that, I found something. It might buy us a little time. It might not. But anything is better than nothing at this point. More importantly, I don't think they'll risk making a move with Benson still with us. He's that threatening? I'd be more threatening if I was in my prime, but I can still kill a man should the need arise. You can't be serious. Rather than explain, let's figure out what our next move should be. It's frankly the more pressing issue than discussing Benson's past anyway. You have something in mind? We find ourselves in a rather precarious situation. For the most part, I believe Oswin is safe, as he's needed should anything go awry. That doesn't exactly fill me with a lot of confidence. That applies to the rest of us. Regrettably, no, not. I'm afraid. I'm likely the most at risk given the presumed threat level I carry. The rest of you, I'd assume, sit somewhere down in between. Where do I sit? Pardon? With everything going on with my family, am I safe or not safe? Not. That'd be entirely up to your father, but I'm not one to go ask him and risk the consequences. Orlando shifted uncomfortably on the spot, looking away. Chances are, we might have to deal with more than one person even after disposing of one already. So what? We barricade the doors? We could, although we run the risk of barricading ourselves in. That's kind of the point. And what would we do if there was a fire? I'd rather not turn my house into a literal oven while I'm still inside. But weapons, we could, get weapons? Potentially. There's a sword upstairs attached to the armor. There's plenty of knives in the kitchen. We're likely going to need something more long range just in case. So, guns. Indeed. The comment was left there, and I excused myself to make a beeline for the kitchen. I braced myself on the sink and ran the water. I was parched from having trekked through the forest, not to mention the foul taste at the back of my throat from where what little I'd had to eat threatened to come up. Breathe, Dave. My knuckles started to hurt from how tightly I've been clutching the edge of the sink, but I nodded quickly. Benson went and got a glass and provided me with water. The moment it was within reach, I snatched it and gulped it down. I'd say the worst is over, but I really don't know yet. What about you? How's your... I gestured tiredly to my chest and he nodded slowly. Tender, light and likely a few cracked ribs, but nothing that won't heal with time. That's just it though, right? Do we have the time? It's hard to say. The others have gone to figure out how best to prepare for the rabbit's arrival. No doubt he'll be on his way with his master in tow. What makes you so sure? After the loss of his partner in crime, and that being made known to their employer, no doubt a certain boss will wish to take things into his own hands. He's just that kind of guy? As hard-headed as he is headstrong, although equally dim to boot. Sounds dangerous, ruthless, with a lot of power, and not nearly enough compassion, my boy. I wouldn't be surprised if he walked right up to the front door and knocked it off its hinges rather than do anything remotely stealthy. Benson helped me back into the foyer where the others were nowhere to be seen, at least not at first. Feeling any better? A little. Sir, if I may, what was it that you hid in that rat? Just an USB with some encrypted files. Should keep them busy for a little while, hopefully. Or rile them up further. It was a calculated risk. The other two are upstairs steeling themselves for what's to come. Neither are keen on using a gun, although I gather for different reasons. I get the impression they may not have a choice if their survival is at stake. I checked my hands, wondering why I was holding a knife, and wondered when I would have dropped it. If you're looking for the knife, it's sitting on the dining table. You dropped it just beside the back door. And my revolver? Alas, I did not think to retrieve it from Sal when we made our escape. A pity. We have a problem. Rabbit in the backyard. Oswin tensed, Benson muttering something under his breath, and my heart sank once again. Whatever trick Oswin tried to pull hadn't worked. Benson, with gun in hand, cautiously made his way over to the back door. Did you two find anything to arm yourselves with? Outside of the sword from the museum, we couldn't think of anything. We'll have to make do with knives from the kitchen then. It might not need to come to that, but that it's something. Haas nodded quickly and dashed off into the dining room, leaving just the three of us in the foyer. How's it looking out there, Benson? For the time being, he hasn't made a move, but he doesn't look too happy. Well, if you got the better of him in the woods, it's no wonder. Is he harmed? Only with his knife. Well, let's go see what he wants. We can't go outside. What if he tries something? So what if he does? Oswin marched out the back, lingering near the back door while Benson covered him with his gun. Let me just make sure that this is still Pat C. Yeah, this is still Pat C. Haas rushed back with some knives, handing the hunting knife to me while handing a cleaver to Orlando. These will have to do, I guess. We won't need to actually use these, will we? Depends. You know how to use them? Oh no, there he is. I turned around to the front door, looking behind us to see the person standing there. The voice wasn't familiar to me, but upon seeing him, I knew that we'd met. You're Dad? Hey, inside quick. Haas' hand was barely on the back door before he slumped against it, following the sounds of a couple of quick gunshots. Wait, is this still Pat C? Because I remember like some... No, it is still Pat C. Looking to Memphis, he had his gun trained on me next, scowling. You going to go running too? Quickly, I shook my head and put my hands up, looking to Orlando. You, you shot him. You're next if you don't shut up. And stop that damn crying while you're at it. How dare you come into my house and uninvited? The sounds of gunfire and fighting echoed in from outside, but I couldn't pull my gaze away from the mass of red in front of me. Just the man I was wanting to see. You got your little present, much appreciated. What else could you possibly want now? The rest? Can't use it if it's still in your house. And if I refuse? He raised his gun in reply, shifting it over to me and making my blood run cold. Want more kids to die cause of you? Can be arranged. Orlando grabbed me and shielded me from his dad, holding me so tight it almost hurt. You'll have to shoot me first. Fine by me. Yeah, he doesn't even care. Without flinching, he fired, Orlando going rigid in front of me before his grip lessened. His eyes met mine right before they rolled back, and he landed on the side on his side on the floor, blood pooling on the tiled floor. Damn you! Oswin grabbed me quickly, pulling me away from Orlando to his side, holding my wrist tight. Your move. Take the damn thing, then. Appreciated. I should make a point of you talking to me like that. Once again, his gun was pointed at me, my eyes trained at the end of the barrel. Wait. It's still Pat C, right? Yeah, no, it's still Pat C. Benson finally rushed in from outside, pointing his gun at Orlando's dad. Sir? There's my move, Memphis. I could shoot the kid and take the bullet from that pea shooter your butler has. This changes nothing. Indeed, however... Benson shifted his gun to point directly at Oswin instead. You need Oswin alive in case you can't get the vote to work. Were you to shoot the hyena, you'll find yourself with no one to ask should you struggle further down the line. There's still Jack. Not with both his kneecaps thoroughly broken. Wow. Damn. Memphis seems to weigh his options. Gun still steady on me. At some point, I closed my eyes and just waited for it to happen. The smell of blood around me was making me sick, and I just wanted to pass out to avoid everything I was feeling. Fine. Get out. But I know how to find you if I need to. Slowly, Oswin and Benson guided me to the front door. Memphis, meanwhile, watched us like a hawk through the narrowed eyes. Jeez, he didn't even seem fazed by his son dead on the ground. And the moment we were out, I squeaked. My legs were like lead, but Oswin continued to pull me out of the house despite my silent protest. Yeah. What a waste. You did what you could. I could feel him tremble as he held onto me, holding me close. Benson, we need to get away from here. Now. And so we fled. Benson, Oswin, and I. Or rather, it was closer to me being dragged away from the house. Down the driveway, and we took the risk in trying to scale the break in the road. A few times I almost fell off, or rather considered just letting go, but Oswin seemed to ensure I didn't. Then it was down the mountain, and we started hiking towards the closest town. I asked if we should contact the police, and Oswin said not to bother, instead calling someone else while Benson took me aside. He didn't say much, but gave me a hug while I slumped against him and sobbed in exhaustion. We'd been walking for all hours, and I fell asleep while waiting for whoever it was that was coming for us. Someone Oswin knew, apparently. We were in the car when I woke up. In the back with Oswin, with my head resting on his lap. I felt weak. Limbs felt numb, but I couldn't make out a different bore in the driver's seat. Oswin's hand on my shoulder was rubbing gently, mumbling things down to me that sounded soothing, if nothing, but white noise as I passed out again soon after. The next time that after that, it was at my own house, with Oswin helping me to the door. Here we are, my house. Get inside, sleep off what happened if you can, and let Benson and I handle the rest. As he turned to go, I grabbed him roughly by the sleeve, clamping down tight. Don't leave me alone. Not now. Not after that. Is there no one you can be with now? Your mother, perhaps? She's she's likely at work and she wouldn't understand. I'm inclined to agree. You you know my mom? We've crossed paths enough for me to consider that what you're saying is likely the truth. Alas, I cannot bring you to my sister's residence as much as I would like to. There are complications in doing so right now. And also, Dangster, I don't think you can fix him. Uh, he's a mob boss, like. And you can't stay here? Please. I do not believe that is wise. Not when there's an unstable dragon sieging my family home. Sir, Florenza is wondering if you're alright. I'm fine. Just trying to figure out the best avenue forward. She also said to tell you that you're staying here with the boy. Excuse me? She believed that it's in the best interest for the both of you to spend some time together while I see to reclaiming the house. Oswin huffed but relaxed. Looking past Benson to the car, he shot the other boar in the car a sour look while she waved back sweetly. Fine. I'll check in with you two later. For now, try to relax knowing the worst is behind us. We wandered inside and I started to pace as Oswin watched Benson and his sister leave. This... What are we meant to do now? The police, right? We call the police? I looked to Oswin, and he was examining a picture that was sitting on one of the shelves in the living room. The police likely won't do anything. The Noble family has most of them on payroll to look the other way, or rather enough to make doing anything against them problematic for those still with some level of moral compass. So we do nothing? We wait. That's all we can do. Azuman was around for a week before he departed with Benson to go do something, and I've heard nothing. No one had told me anything, and even Mom had been scarce. Even going to the hospital to try and find her to talk gave me a quick 5-minute conversation before she was called away to save someone's life. But here I was, sitting in front of my dad's grave, wondering who takes care of the living if everyone's gone. The dead and the dying get all the attention, and here I was, left all alone. Dad, what's left for me? What am I? My God, sorry. I trailed off with a sigh, rubbing my face. I felt more tired. Sleep was infrequent, and the lack of anyone telling me anything had made me spend a lot of days laying on the floor waiting. I I can't even go say goodbye. A lack of graves does make that difficult, I agree. You, Oswin, I thought I'd find you here when you weren't at your house, at the house. Why were you looking for me? Did something happen? Did you want the good news or the bad news? I shrank in my spot on the ground, not wanting to answer. Well, the situation has changed. I'll say that much. He offered a hand out to me, and I took it, picking myself up off the ground. Once I was standing, he quickly looked away, over to a grave somewhere in the distance. I need a favor. That's why you came out here to see me? Partially. The other reason was, well, I was concerned about you. Sorry? Concerned is probably the wrong word. Worried is closer. But why? You lost most of your friends in the span of a few days, boy. Such loss does things to a man. Right. Well, what's this favor? And why are you still wearing that lab coat? Because I haven't given up. Or maybe it's perhaps I'm willing to give it another go. But I could use the help. So, I think he's just talking about timeline shenanigans again. And Benson can't help you? Or your sister? It's more complicated than that. They're also somewhat unwilling. They don't want to help you? My sister is very persuasive. While Benson was the closest thing to a father, his duties as the family butler seemed to be hard to break. He's one of the mind that refusing to help will do me the most good here. As infuriating as that is, it was an idea that my sister planted in his head. So why do you need me? I'll be blunt. I succeeded in one thing and failed in another. While the chance to succeed in both has passed, I think there might be something we can do. Like what? Do you feel like rebelling a little? If the police won't help, maybe there are other avenues we can try. But I like following the rules. They're meant to keep us safe. They're meant to be fair. That's when everyone follows the rules. If someone doesn't, well, it's hardly fair if those aren't enforced, is it? I guess so, but what are we rebelling over? Life. It wouldn't be the first time I rebelled, and it won't be the last. Not today. You're you're talking about the medical trial. His smile faded fast, looking me over. I wasn't, but that's yet another example. Then what were you talking about? He tapped the ring grafted to his right tusk thoughtfully. It's an old belief that should a man get adornments, they should be worn on the left hand side, lest they be branded a queer. Wait, what? Is that true? I've never heard of that of that. I believe that my father drilled into myself and my older brother multiple times during our childhood. Really, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Why is this important? Reginald got his on his left tusk, in line with what our father wished, me on the right. Not that I'm queer, mind you, but I did not like how my father seemed intent to push questionable ideals onto us. But if you're not gay, then why the tusk ring, right? A thing. Like I said, it was an act of defiance. Truth be told, I don't have an interest in the slightest, and this was just an easy way to get under his skin. Couldn't he have just told you to remove it or get it redone or something? He tried, but that's where Benson intervened. Mother to less extent, but father's attention soon turned to grooming Reginald as their heir to the family, so it didn't matter. I threw my hands up. So what? I meant to get my teeth all fancy and then help you with some rebellion. Are you not interested? I'm tired. I'm sad. I just don't see the point. The point is that we need to make sure that if this whole universal reset theory has any weight, that we don't end up here a second time repeating this conversation. Timeline shenanigans! And we do that by reloading your save file, player. Stopping that massacre that set off this chain of events is a good start. Please remember this word. Please. So, the favor I'd ask of you is helping me find a way we can do just that. With a time machine? He huffed, adjusting his glasses. There's no changing the past, Dave. We can only change the future. He offered out his hand to shake, looking at me curiously. What you say? What say? Wait, what? What say you, Mr. Holloway? I took his hand, shaking it. I didn't know what he had planned or what exactly I could do to help, but there was no one else left. I felt responsible as the last one alive to try and do something to help my friends, if not here, then in some other time and place. As much as of a taint that it carried, it was hope, and it was all I had left. So, Patsy and. Alright, now that we're done with Pat C, let's move on with Pat B. I think my Pat B save file is this one. So, for Path B, it wasn't that bad. Everyone just died. Yeah, huh. Path B is you reveal Oswin. You reveal Oswin, but this time I actually put the password in. So finally, in Path B, we're finally putting in the password. So this time we're finally putting in massacre. But if I took the right save file, I hope it was. Nope, that wasn't the right save file. That wasn't the right save file. Whoopsies. Okay, then let's go back to the other one and put it back. Okay, is this one path B? Because it should be path B. Wait, what the fuck? Why is it path A on both ends? You know what? I might try to do something more safer. Go back there. Yeah, I'm gonna do something safer. I'm gonna go back here. I'm going to reveal Oswin and then skip back to the vault. Hello, you're alive. Orlando and Haas. Ask Haas. Because it should be path B, revealing Oswin and then and then using the password. Unless they change that again. I don't know why they would change it, but first. Wait, no. Yeah, that's what I did. You're sure? Sure. That's gonna be a long skip. True trauma. Sal. There's a pattern. Okay. Then it should be Pat B. Massacre. Okay. That should be Pat B. Something's wrong. Something's very wrong. Is it potentially just... I swear, I feel like the creator just changed it, because on the version I played, it was that you reveal Oswin and you... Maybe I just need to continue through the story and then it's going to revert to path B. But wait, why is there a save there? Why is there a save there? That's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna like save over this one just to make sure. And then I'm just curious about something. Did they change it so that like you have to be in path C and then save Sal instead of Benson? I would doubt it, but I would highly highly doubt it, but I'm curious. It is still path C, but I'm just going to resume a little further just to see if the path changed. No, it's still path C. So if I'm right, this should still leave me. This should still lead me to path B, even though it's right. Even though right now it says path A, it should switch to path B, because in path B you save Roswell and Dean, but Oswin is dead. Because if you don't reveal Oswin, he's not gonna die. But if you reveal Oswin, he's gonna die. So hopefully we're still in path B. I've been through it a couple of times before, and the moment I heard the chime, I braced for the worst. Maybe bracing for it was the worst thing I could have done, as a sharp pain coursed through my head. As it flashed in front of my eyes, I gulped. There it was. I didn't want to have succeeded in finding the password, but the fact I did felt bittersweet. It was Sal, somehow, sleepwalking maybe, but I knew where I needed to go next. I came to on the floor of the vault. My head was spinning, as if I had just been thrown about the room for a few minutes. How long had I been out for? How long had it been? Was it too late to intervene? Scrambling to my feet, I tore out of the room and headed upstairs in search of Sal. Sal! Calling out into the foyer, I hoped he'd hear, or anyone would hear for that matter. It echoed off the walls, but no response. Was it too late? Grabbing my phone out of my pocket, I checked the time. It wasn't too late in the evening, and if what I had seen was any indication, there was still time before... Sal, where are you? Do I want to know why you're shouting in the middle of the foyer? Haas, where's Sal? Hold up there, Dave. Why do you want to know? He's going to kill someone. Very sneaky there, Dave. Excuse me? The vote. Have you seen him or not? Upstairs, I think? With Dean? I turned away from Haas and bolted upstairs, continuing to call out Sal. Sal! What? I looked to what he held in his hand, a small container of medicine. It's you. What's him? In the vault. I saw you. What are you doing right now? Okay, I think you should stop yelling. Then I whined, shuffling anxiously on the spot while Dean placed a hand on my shoulder. Now, what happened? Massacre. Sal's going to... I replayed the events of the day in my head, thinking back to everything I'd learned with my eyes settling on the medicine in Sal's hand. What's that, Sal? Medicine? Sleeping medication, yes. Technically, it's mine, but I don't know. Sal sometimes asks for it to help him sleep. But why? After everything that we talked about today, I wouldn't mind just getting some decent sleep. I thought back to what Roswell said and I stared Sal down. Cordyceps. The fungus? What about it? Sal, what if that medicine is a similar thing? The three of us were left in silence, with Sal's grip on the medicine tightening slightly. Sal? With a sigh, he pushed the container back to Dean, shaking his head. What do I do? I only wanted... Dean and I looked at one another, uncertain. I'm sorry. I just wanted to... Sal shrugged, and I wondered if he was crying despite seeing no tears. Hey, it's alright, Sal. You'll be okay. I can't really say I know what's going on, but I'm sorry. It's my fault. I don't know. I guess I just didn't want another thing like Benson to happen. At least Benson's not around, but I guess it doesn't hurt to bring it up now. Okay, Benson not being around is a good sign because Benson is not around if you reveal Oswin. So that means Oswin is probably dead. Still, if you saw the thing, then I guess we can, Dave. Yeah? I'm sorry if you thought I... He shuddered and lumbered past me, almost in a daze. Sal, come back! Dean, Save it. You meant well, right? Of course! Well, I trust that at least. Just let me deal with Sal and hopefully things will be alright in the morning. Dean stepped in and gave me a quick hug. Good night, Dave. I watched as Dean left, unsure if I'd done the right thing after all. On one hand, I wasn't sure if this was the case of me having stopped what I saw happening, or if my intervention just had ensured it was going to happen. Still, I did all I could. Would Dad have been proud? I wanted to feel proud, but something was nagging at me that I'd done something bad. Maybe this was just the cost of trying to keep everyone alive. Let me just check. It still says path A, but that's gonna change. Had I done the right thing by Sal? By everyone? The longer I stood before my bed, the more I felt that I'd done something bad. Either way, I would... Oh, okay, that is skippable. Or at least that's what I was telling myself as I sat down onto the bed. Orlando hasn't shown up yet, so I pulled off my shirt and just waited. Considered a shower, but... No sooner than I thought, he wandered into the bedroom, closing the door behind him. Okay, so, he had a pillow with him, and unlike before, his mood seemed to be notably more upbeat. Balancing the pillow under one arm and slipped out of his pants, leaving them by the door. this still, this is still fine, right? Oh, yeah, just, yeah. Yeah? What's wrong? I, uh, I did a bad thing and upset Sal. Maybe Dean. Oh, well, did you want to talk about it? Nothing to really talk about, Orlando. I missed with the vote. I stepped in and tried to make a change, and well. Orlando came over and sat down next to me, putting an arm over my shoulders. Even after everything we did today, you still went and messed with it? I had to. It's part of the job. He sighed out, pulling his shirt off. That left him only in his own underwear, which while wasn't exactly a new experience for me, suddenly made me feel different. Please don't tell me you're developing into a hero complex like us. Just wandering into trouble just to, I guess, feel important. No, no, no. I don't know. If my investigation takes me there, I kind of need to follow through, right? Well, I suppose you've got that right. It'll be fine. I'll talk to him tomorrow. Should I as well? I mean, if he sees me as a brother, maybe that's safer? Maybe I'll bring it up with everyone tomorrow, but not before I talk to Sal about it. For now, though. Okay, this. I was at a loss for words, but his warmth was lulling me for sleep faster than I could piece my thoughts together. And sure enough, I found myself falling asleep soon after. The game still tells me that I'm on path A, but I feel like this is gonna change when. I hope that I did the right thing. I should be doing. I keep like second guessing myself. I remember tossing and turning in my sleep, restless. Dave, come on, buddy. Time to get up. The corners of my mouth twitched upwards at the familiar voice, but it soon faded. Brow furrowed. 5 more minutes, Dad. Oh, are you that tired? You've slept long enough, buddy. Come on. My eyes adjusted to see Dad sitting on the bed, a hand on my shoulder from where he gently nudged me awake. I still felt sluggish, but what I could see was clear. There's my boy. Dad? What? Where? I had to have been dreaming again, right? This was a dream, much like the last time, but why? Why now? My heart ached seeing him after what had happened with Sal and Dean. Are you sick, son? You're looking a little under the weather. No, no, I'm fine. I think I just... What? You sure? I don't mind calling in sick myself if you want me around. Or I could shoot Tyson a message, see if he'll keep you company again. I sat up, rubbing my eyes. I had to be dreaming. I went to pull out my fur to see if that's wake me, but my own arm slipped out of my grasp. Dad, why are you here? That's not very nice, son. Always be with you. It's just the job of a dad. You'll be with me always? That's right. So come on downstairs. It's almost time to get going. He got up and left the room before I could get a word in. This was normal. Maybe not with how he seemed to slide out of the room, but he did move fast when he was excited. But where were we going, and why? The next thing I knew, I was downstairs, looking at the living room. I couldn't make out what they were saying, but I could hear Mom and Dad yelling. Dad stomped past me, stopping at the door. He just looked at me quietly for a moment before he sighed out. He went to say something, but it was garbled. like I couldn't understand him. He went to speak again, much to the same result. I shook my head, confused, but he seemed to be laughing. I took a couple of steps towards him, reaching out my hand, but then he was gone. As the bedroom came back into view, I looked around to take stock of where I was. Hammond Manor, a bed that I was, for the most part, slowly becoming used to. I looked across to Orlando, who was still on his side but cuddling a pillow instead of me. My mind began to wonder as I stared at the ceiling. I didn't normally have dreams like this, more so about Dad. Was it just getting to the point pushing it down wasn't working? I sat up in bed and shifted away from the other person occupying it, feeling not quite tired but more confused as to how I was really coping. By the time I was decent and made my way downstairs, I looked out at the foyer. The house was quiet. For how big it was, I expected that there would be some sort of sound echoing, but the soundproofing probably took care of that. Taking a seat on the stairs, I cradled my head in my hands, rocking back and forth slowly. What do I do? I repeated the question as a whisper to no one in particular, not even to myself, as I tried to figure out what the next plan was. I'd been successful, right? Seeing what I had in the what I had in the vault. Even at the cost of making Sal sad, was it worth it? Ugh, this sucks. I called out into the house, but my voice echoed into silence. No one was around to validate what I'd said, and no one seemed to care. Slumping against the stairs, I stared at the chandelier hanging above the foyer. How much did they cost? They seemed a pain to clean, but it seemed to be attached to some sort of mechanism near the top. Maybe to lower it to help it repair it or something. I noticed the silence after I'd finished counting the individual crystals on the chandelier. Wow, chandelier. How long had I been sitting there for? With the thoughts of the others soon joining me, I head into the dining room in a daze. Coffee? Breakfast? I was just so tired. Then into the kitchen. I wondered if I should just head back to bed or if I should just stay here. It wasn't as if it was any different to any other morning at home, especially with Dad gone. Staring at the coffee pot wasn't making it go faster, and I felt my morale start to slip. This was meant to be a vacation, right? Before I realized I'd done it, my arms were folded over my chest and I'd grabbed a handful of fur in both hands and started to pull. I yelped when I yanked particularly hard, a few strands of fur falling into the floor as I pulled my hands away and braced myself on the counter. I'm gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. It's got to be. I closed my eyes and just stood there, trying to block out my own thoughts. Just give up, Dave. Let whatever happens happen. Let them die. The next thing I knew, I was sitting at a table, being lightly shaken by Tyson. What are you doing? I looked between him and Orlando, then the mug of coffee in front of me. Dave, you look out of it. And, I was a little worried when you weren't there when I woke up. Excuse me? We shared a bed? Oh, well, whatever. Be more considerate in the future, brat. I knew he was referring to me when he lightly rubbed a knuckle into my head. Well, so long as you're okay, I guess I'll go make breakfast. I turned to watch Orlando wander into the kitchen, and I watched as Ty took my mug away. This is fucking ice cold. You've been nursing this for how long? Soon he too left, grumbling as he went toward the kitchen. I looked up as Dean and Sal wandered into the dining room. They both looked tired, and I could only imagine why. Good morning, Dave. Sal mumbled something before sitting down at the table. Dean glanced at him, nodding before sitting down next to me. So, I whined softly, watching as Dean scratched his arm awkwardly as he rested them on the table. I'm sorry for last night, Dean, really. He shook his head, sighing out. It'll be alright. He yawned briefly before rubbing his face. I cracked by a wry smile, feeling like I should try and lighten the mood. You look as tired as me. Did you sleep alright? He flashed me that same smile back, lasting only for a second. The longer he didn't give me an answer back, the more it sank in. You haven't slept? There are certain things that are more important, namely taking care of someone dear to me. That means Sal. I'm sorry, I didn't. Much like the night before Dean held up a hand, much like the night before Dean held up a hand and shook his head. It's fine, Dave. We talked it out, and for better or worse, what's done is done. I'm tired though, but that's fixable. And as for Sal, he'll just need some cheering up, but I'm on top of that too. Don't worry. Can I help? Not this time. If that changes though, I'll let you know. Dean went to join Sal nearby, the pair of them talking quietly between themselves. Then Roswell and Haas showed up, surprisingly a lot more perky than the rest of us. Good morning, guys. Yeah, good morning. Hey, you missed my voice. I drummed my fingers on the table, missing the mug of coffee I'd made myself despite letting it go cold. Well, what's on your mind, Dave? A lot. Okay, but any more specific than that? We can't help unless you say something. I went to say something, but instead just shook my head, keeping my gaze on the table. Haas and Roswell took a seat next to each other and started talking in hushed tones about me. Specifics I couldn't quite make out, but they were planning something. There was something I remembered though, and that was what Oswin had told me a few days ago. Same time, same place, and you'll have something to show me. Orlando emerged from the kitchen with a bunch of toast, and Ty stopped by with a fresh mug of coffee for me. He lazily put it in front of me, but its contents precariously sloshing about and threatening to spill. Before I could say anything, he was already moving down the table. They moved off, and the rest of the breakfast it was a blur. Let it go, Dave. It's all right. Let them die. Hurt to Dave. Huh? I came to with Haas snapping his fingers in front of my face. My coffee was half gone from a cursory glance, and it's still kind of warm, so I must not have zoned out for too long. He's been talking to you for a couple of minutes, Dave. Sorry, I just, Haas and Dean shot each other a glance, worried. I could tell they were, but I didn't know what to tell them. After all, what could you say when the voice in your head, the voice of what sounded like your dad, was telling you to let your friends die? Mind if I take over, Haas? Take over? I mean, sure, I guess. I have two others to corral, so it's no problem to me if you give it a shot. If you want to give it a shot. Haas patted me quickly on the shoulder before rushing out of the dining room. It was only then I realized that everyone else had up and left already. I scowled at no one in particular, wondering how they could have just all left without checking up on me. Or maybe were they just giving me space? Can I ask you something? What? Dean sat down, leaning on the table briefly while he looked me over. Things aren't getting much better for you, are they? I shook my head quickly, leaving my answer at that. Well, Saul and I were going to hang out by the pool today. Saul was going to distract himself by giving Orlando a swimming lesson, and I was going to relax in the hot tub. Okay, Dave, I want you to join us. Huh? Why? Well, he scratched his chin, thinking things over. After last night, I felt like maybe you could do with some calming down, at least for a little bit. At least that's what I've come to know about you and how you hold on to things. Well, not exactly beach, but yeah. I hung my head briefly, not immediately sold on Dean's reasoning as to why I should go. Let me just still check something. No, it still says path A. It should be path B though. Please join us. He got up, pushing his chair in and offering out a hand for me to take. I looked at it gingerly before forcing myself to smile and taking it so he could help me up. We should probably hurry up. The other two left a while ago, so go get changed and we can head on down. Aren't you getting changed? Oh, I will. But it won't take me long to change given I'm just going to be sitting in the hot tub. So I think I'm gonna leave it here for today. I hope that this is path B. But if I remember things correctly, this still should be path B. It's just that the game isn't showing us that yet. But yeah, we're almost done with the non-true routes. The only non-true routes left to get is path B. But hope you enjoyed and see you guys next time. Take care.